views and opinions of any of the guests of After Hours AM are not necessarily the views and opinions of After Hours AM, its hosts, its staff, or any of its affiliates.
Welcome to the After Hours program.
Are you ready?
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Now broadcasting live from the After Hours AM studio, Joel Sturgis and Eric Olson.
And welcome to After Hours AM, everybody. I'm your host, Joel Sturgis, right along with me,
Eric Olson.
Good evening, Eric. How you doing, man?
Mostly, I'm doing good. We had some adventures in Techland last night. You did a remarkable editing job preventing those who did not hear the show live. It was a quagmire.
Yeah, I did my best, worked my radio magic. We got through it, but it was an interesting show all in all. And so, of course, we were able to talk yet again about D.B. Cooper, which was actually very, very interesting. He's always an interesting fella. I mean, he's got more miles under his belt now after the fact that he ever did when he was alive. I'm pretty much guaranteeing that.
This perspective, the one we had last night, about what's his name, Kenny Christensen.
Yeah, yep, Kenny Christensen's the guy,
and his pal Bernie.
Yep,
the
Bernie and
accomplice.
Kenny. Exactly.
That tale, that angle, to me, makes the most sense.
It does.
Of any of the theories that I've heard. And I recalled it from seeing, essentially that same thing. There's been more information that's come out since that I think even reinforces it more. But I remember seeing that episode on Brad Meltzer's Decoded and being very convinced at that point about that story.
Well, I've got a story for you really quick that happened today. Somebody called the studio line today, and I happened to be in the office generally during the day. If you leave a message on the studio line, I'll get back to you. Not a problem. But I happened to be there. I picked it up, and what do I hear? And this is so hilarious, no joke. A guy saying, "I was D.B. Cooper."
Oh,
what? He says, "Yeah, you said to call in if you knew anything about D.B. Cooper." Well, I was D.B. Cooper. I said, really? I says, well, are you willing to let me record this call? I'd really rather not. I just want to let you know I am still around. Click.
Yeah, well, he'd have to be pretty old.
He would have to be very old. He did not sound like he was in his 80s. So, I'm just saying there's a lot of delusional folks out there. I'm not saying he was DB. I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm just saying a sure suspect. Come on now.
Maybe he really is D.B. Cooper, but has nothing to do with the guy who did the skyjacking.
That could be true. That could be it too. I was thinking, well, maybe he shares the name. Maybe his name is Dan Cooper, but he just likes to play play jokes at people.
Exactly. Yes, he is.
He actually would be at that point.
There's no arguing about it.
Exactly. That at that point he'd be correct. He would be D.B. Cooper. So. Anyhow, that was a great show last night. If you have not heard it, please excuse the editing job I did. I think I did a pretty fair job. And check it out. See what you guys think. Was Kenny Christensen D.B. Cooper? Get all the information and all of the evidence out there and make an opinion for yourself. Hey, do you remember, Eric, when we covered the California Bigfoot lawsuit? Remember when that lady was filing a lawsuit against California about Bigfoot? Remember that?
Yes,
okay,
I do.
Well, get this. California woman's Bigfoot is real lawsuit has been dismissed for now. Yeah, unfortunately, a lawsuit filed by a Crestline woman demanding that the state recognize a Sasquatch, a.k.a. Bigfoot, as the official species has been dismissed. The court dismissed the case at the request of the petitioner. Wow, she wanted it gone. Claudia Ackley on March 15th. Court records show Ackley said her attorney advised her to drop the lawsuit she filed on January 18th in San Bernardino Superior Court against the California Department of Fish and Wildlife.
Because everyone thought she was nuts.
Everybody said, you're special kind of crazy, ain't you? What you doing? Of course Bigfoot's not going to show up to court. What do you think he's going to do? He doesn't do that kind of stuff. Laws have no effect on Bigfoot.
He doesn't receive subpoenas.
He does not. I mean, how would you serve him? If you're a process server, where would you begin?
You wander around in the woods like everyone else.
You just wander there, look around, call, hey, Bigfoot, 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 hey, Bigfoot, Bigfoot. Yeah, hopefully he comes along. Or wave a bag of jacklinks. Evidently, he has affinity for jacklinks. So
apparently so, according to jacklinks.
Exactly, according to them. Well, anyhow, the lady goes on. She says, this is her statement. Their attorney wanted me to stop it, and then for them to rewrite it, she said, adding that her attorney told her she had gone too far and forward with her original filing. She would have been eaten alive, he said, her attorney. So, that being said, on March 17th, a Facebook post where Ackley informed her friends, I only get one chance. I must do it correctly in order to proceed, she said. So it does sound like she's going to go ahead and try to get another bite at the apple, man. So we will see. Okay, Ackley 46 teamed up with a documentary filmmaker, Todd Standing, the man behind the Netflix film Discovering Bigfoot, in drafting the original lawsuit. Huh.
Did we have him on the show?
No, we've never had him on. We're going to have to get him on the show. I'd like to talk to Todd about this. We had a similar lawsuit filed in British Columbia, he says, and of course, where he resides. Standing said Tuesday that he and Ackley and paralegal wrote the first lawsuit themselves, which was not vetted by any lawyer. Hello? You know, if you're going to write a order or try to get something through, you'd think you might want to swing by the local attorney's office and go, does this look okay to you?
Because that's, what they do.
That is exactly what they do. There's so many things a lawyer has to do, appropriately, she goes on to say, or he goes on to say, rather, Todd. And we now have a team of lawyers, in the U.S., who are going to put this together.
Wow.
So I'm not quite sure
Is she using the Trump team?
Oh, sure. Well, most of them are unemployed at this point, so, maybe, they're just kicking around now, doing nothing, most of them.
They're drifting off.
It does say that she got a Texas-based attorney, Bobby Garcia, that could not be immediately reached for comment on this matter. So we will have to see, and they're using DNA evidence collected on a tree from 2014 to prove the existence of Bigfoot, by the way, that in case you're curious what their evidence is. That's their evidence. Right there.
Do we know how the DNA tested?
Let's see. It goes. She explains Sasquatch, including testimony. Okay. She's going to use testimony from wildlife biologists, wilderness experts, police forensic officers, and, of course, the DNA collected in 2014 as her case to go forward with recognizing Bigfoot as California's #1 crypto.
So what does she gain from this? It's not like
I'm not. I think I want to say, I'm going on a limb here. I want to say that maybe Ackley is maybe not exactly all upstairs. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out. I could be completely wrong, but from what she's saying, her statements just seem very scattered.
Well, and again, if you're going to pursue something like this, you have to take it seriously and do it correctly.
Well, Ackley says, I suspect it will be dismissed for lack of evidence if we present it as is.
I imagine that's true.
I would imagine there's a whole lot of lacking of evidence in this situation. Meaning, is there even a Bigfoot? That would be the first evidence we'd want to ascertain is there indeed a Bigfoot? And then maybe go on from there. So.
Well, I guess what ultimately she is trying to do is to make that very point. I mean, isn't that ultimately what her goal is?
That sure seems to be it. That seems to be her goal, is to make a point of getting this law passed and to be somebody maybe in the Bigfoot community. I don't know what her end game is for why she's doing it. Maybe she's just a conscientious citizen and wants everyone to know her love and her admiration for the big hairy fella.
Now, is this one of the ones whose been up close and personal with a Bigfoot?
She doesn't say that anywhere in this article, and I don't remember the last article we read. She doesn't claim. Okay, accurately does claim she did have an encounter with 3 Sasquatches in Lake Arrowhead last March while hiking with her 2 daughters. Okay, well, there are documented claims on record. Okay, there are documented claims on record of Bigfoot sightings in the mountain resort community. So, I guess she saw a bunch of them with her daughters. They were hanging out, probably doing their whole picnic thing. And then, of course, they saw the Bigfoot, and that's why she's beating the old drum of Bigfoot being real.
My brother used to live in Lake Arrowhead.
Oh, yeah? Did he see a Bigfoot?
He has not mentioned that.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe he should look. You should put him on the case. Or he's not there now, right? He doesn't.
No, he isn't there now.
Interesting.
He moved down the mountain and into the desert.
Well, maybe I bet she's enjoying that a little bit more. Maybe. Who knows? Anyhow,
he seems to like both. He and my younger brother, who's actually now here in Ohio visiting. He's visiting my mother right now.
Oh, that's very cool.
They go skiing together every year because they have disposable income and no children.
Oh, well, that's the key right there. No children. That means they have lots of disposable income.
Yeah.
So, I remember those days. It was great.
I vaguely remember those.
Oh,
days.
yes. It's been a long time for me, too, since I had those days. But I did at one time, and I do miss them from time to time. But anyhow, do you remember the big old case that happened that we've talked about in the 1950s, the hikers vanishing on that, what is that?
Diaghilev Pass.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember that? And so anyhow... Yeah. Evidently, there's a new case going on of hikers missing again.
Really?
In an area of Russia's Ural Mountains that have become infamous for the 1959 incident involving the mysterious deaths of 9 hikers, has seemingly claimed another victim, a Russian tourist visiting the site known as, what is it, Eric?
I'm not looking at the spelling, but it's something like Diaghilev
Dyatlov Pass. Reportedly went missing in the remote location sometime in February. It was not until the end of the month when Alexander Andib, there it is, was supposed to return from his solo expedition. Okay, would you go to a place that they call Death Mountain by yourself? I don't know. I'd veer from that, going by myself, doing a solo, but this guy evidently decided to do a solo. That friends and family realized that something had gone awry. A search and rescue mission was subsequently launched, but it would appear that the endeavor failed to produce any answers as the whereabouts and the reports of where this guy is. They can't find him anywhere. Anywhere, not even a trace, not even a smidgen, not even a speck.
Oh, boy.
Not even an empty Mountain Dew can. Nothing.
No remnant of his existence.
Nothing.
No, I would not do that by myself. That's just so unwise. You don't go into the wilderness by yourself.
No.
And you don't go swimming by yourself.
Exactly.
Everyone knows. Because anything can happen.
That's
you get
exactly
hurt,
right.
you hit your head, you pass out, you get sick.
You fall
anything.
down. All that bad stuff can happen. You're absolutely correct. Now, okay, having been now gone since mid-February, the man's chances of having survived this long, of course, in this harsh conditions of this mountain pass are pretty remote, they said. Very slim or outright non-existent. So, eerily, Andreev is the third person to have either died or gone missing in this pass, since that time, since the original hikers.
It's a dangerous area.
It is a very
all the
dangerous
same
area.
Things that, may have happened to the original guys.
Exactly.
You remember they were talking about some kind of weird, what was it, like sonic-induced, landslide?
Avalanche.
Avalanche,
Yep.
That's the word. Yes, very good. Avalanche was one thing, and again, yes, very harsh conditions. This is the middle of winter. You're talking in the mountains in Russia. Holy cats!
Yeah.
Think how bad that has to be.
Well, yeah, and I don't imagine that the Russian officials are in any hurry to really look for this guy. You know what I'm saying? You know, I something strikes me. They didn't seem to have a lot of